This is 1,455 points of human defence forces. We have got 3 squads of infantry. Each squad has got a trooper upgraded with a field radio, and also another trooper upgraded with a grenade launcher. We have got 3 drill sergeants, 1 assigned to each squad. We also have a commander and an executioner, so they've been assigned to a squad each. The commander has been upgraded to have a plasma pistol and an energy fist, and the same for the executioner. He's got a plasma pistol and an energy fist. All 3 of the drill sergeants have been upgraded to have energy swords. We've got a squad of ogres. They have been upgraded with mini grenade launchers and heavy shields. We've also got a battle tank that has been upgraded with a heavy autocannon and 3 heavy machine guns. And finally we've got 2 light walkers. They have been upgraded, both of them upgraded with laser machine guns. This is 1,460 points of Havoc Disciples worshipping the Plague God. We have got, leading them, a Plague Psychic. He is with a squad of 5 Plague Brothers. 1 has been upgraded with a plasma rifle and an energy fist. Another has been upgraded with a plague launcher. There is another unit of Plague Brothers over here. 1 has been upgraded with a plasma gun. The other has been upgraded with an energy fist. There is a squad of 5 Plague Destroyers. 1 has been upgraded with a plague flamethrower. The others all have twin assault rifles and plague swords. There is a plague drone. A plague drone is equipped with 2 bloat spitters and a plague probe. And finally, there are 2 squads of plague zombies that have been fielded together as a big horde of 20. The Plague Psychic is classed as a hybrid, but he'll be fielded with a unit of Plague Brothers, and the Plague Brothers are classed as shooting, so this unit will be classed as shooting, as will this unit of Plague Brothers. The Plague Zombies are obviously a melee unit. The Plague Drone is also a shooting unit, and the Plague Destroyers are a hybrid unit for the purposes of the AI rules. Plague Brothers have landed on the planet and are advancing towards an industrial complex on the outskirts of one of the major cities. The local defence forces have deployed in an effort to halt the advance of the enemy. There are 3 objectives. 1 on this flank by the communications tower, obviously of vital strategic importance. 1 on a major ammo cache in the centre of the battlefield, and another on a supply dump on the other flank. The defence forces have deployed. On this flank we have 1 of the attack walkers with the ogre squad. We then have an infantry squad with the executioner and a sergeant next to the tank. We then have the commander with his infantry squad and 1 of the sergeants. Another infantry squad with a sergeant, and then right over on this flank we've got the 2nd walker. For their part, the Disciples of the Plague God have deployed a squad of Plague Brothers on the left flank behind this tower. The Plague Psyker has deployed with a bodyguard of Plague Brothers in the centre, again in cover of a building. And on the right flank there is a horde of Plague Zombies along with the Plague Drone. The Plague Destroyers are currently in ambush in reserve. The Plague Forces deployed first, so they get the first activation. We roll a die, and roughly up to this wall here will be sector number 1 and 2. The middle sector will extend from that wall to the other side of the bridge. That will be sector 3 and 4, and sector 5 and 6 will be the other flank, the right flank. So it's going to be a unit from sector 1. There's only currently 1 unit in that sector, and with them being allocated as a shooting unit, they will advance towards that objective. So this squad of Plague Brothers has moved up towards the objective number 2, and the front 3, so the one with the plasma rifle and these 2, can see through this tower the attack walker over there. So they're going to shoot at the walker. The walker will enjoy the benefit of cover, so this will be -1 to their quality roll. So we're looking for 4s. This is the plasma gun, so that misses. And then we've got 2 assault rifles hitting on 4s. 1 hits, 1 misses. So that will be a 2-up save for the walker. And it survives. So this unit has now activated. In response, the walker has moved forwards and will return fire onto the Plague Squad. Now they are more than 50% obscured, so they will enjoy the benefit of cover. So this will be 3 shots from the laser machine gun, hitting on 5s. And they all miss. Returning to the Plague activation. That's a 3, so it will be the command unit in the middle zone. They will, again, another shooting unit, so they will advance towards the objective in the centre there, which will take them under the bridge, and they should then be in range to shoot at the tank. All of the Plague Brothers in that squad are in range of the tank, but before they shoot at it, Plague Psyker is going to try and use this psychic ability. So we roll a d3 plus 1 because he's a psychic 1. So that would be a 3. So a 3 would be Shroud. Target enemy unit within 18 inches gets -1 to his, to rolls next time it shoots. However, the target is 18 inches away, more than 18 inches away. So we can't use Shroud, so we then cycle down to the next one that it's possible to cast, and that would happen to be Psychic Barrier, so casting it on itself. So we roll a d6 and add 1 because it's Psychic 1. I'm looking for a 5 or a 6 on the dice. And that's a fail. Moving on to the shooting, we'll start things off with the plasma gun. This will hit on 3. It's a clear shot, that hits. And this is AP 2, so this will wound. We need 4 up to save on the tank, and that's a fail, so the tank takes 1 wound. Moving on to the Plague Launcher, this has 2 attacks, and both hit and they're 6s, so the Plague Launcher has poison, so those 6s get 2 extra hits each, so that's a total of 6 hits that have gone through. Plague Launcher is AP 1, so we're looking at 3 up to save. And there's 1 fail, so that's a 2nd hit that the tank has taken. And we then have 3 assault rifles. Hit on 3s, 1 hits. This is AP nothing, so 2 up to save. And it fails, so that's 3 hits that the tank has taken. The tank is on 9 wounds left. It's going to advance forwards and return fire at the Plague Brothers. The tank has the fast keyword, so it's moved forwards and is now within 3 inches of that objective. And now it's going to return fire at that command squad of the Plague Psyker and the Plague Brothers. Starting off with the heavy autocannon, this is 4 shots hitting on 4s, and they all miss. Then we'll move on to the 3 machine guns, heavy machine guns, again same target. 9 shots hitting on 4s, and that's a little bit better, only 3 misses. And these are AP 1, so the Plague need 3 up to save. And there's 2 fails. Plague Brothers have got regen, so ignore the wounds on a 5 up. And 2 of them fall, using these glass beads as activation markers. The rules don't say how you allocate wounds within a unit, only that you do what makes sense. So if I was playing as the Plague, I would get rid of 2 guys with assault rifles, and one's at the back at that. So this one and this one. Back to the Plague activation, and there's only units in this sector that can be activated now. and it would be the one that is closest to an objective. So this big horde of plague zombies is going to, they're a melee unit, so they're going to rush towards objective number 3. On the Defence Force's left flank, I don't want to be moving the ogres or the walker yet, because the last thing to activate on the plague side in this battle round is the plague drone, and at the moment that would be considered to be obscured from the point of view of the walker. So what we're going to do is, this infantry squad with the executioner is going to move over to the left flank. Squad has moved over. The executioner and the sergeant will both be out of range with their pistols, but all of the rifles and the grenade launcher are in range, and we will say from the point of view of this unit to that unit that they are slightly obscured by this large refinery storage silo piece of scenery, so they will enjoy the benefit of cover. The sergeant is going to use his order to give +1 to hit, so we're going to be hitting on 5s, and we'll do the assault rifles first. Rifles hit on 5s, and that is 1 hit, saving on a 4, and that saves. And we're going to use the high explosive profile on the grenade launcher. So this will hit on a 5, and it hits, and that has got blast 3, so that'll be 3 saves on the unit. So save on 4s, and 2 poxwalkers fail to save. Do they regen? 1 does, so 1 poxwalker falls. The only plague unit left to activate is the plague drone. Now, it doesn't have the flyer keyword, so it does have Strider, but there's no way for it to really get past these. But it says again in the rules to do what makes sense, so we're going to assume that it can actually squeeze through there, brushing up and over this row of zombies here. So it's a shooting unit. Once it has moved, it won't be in range of anything, because it's only got a 12-inch range on these plague flamers. So it will be rushing its full 18 inches towards this objective marker here, which will then have it in range of an enemy in the next turn, although it also means it will be in range of return fire. So the plague drone now holding objective 3, and that is all of the plague units activated. The ogres have advanced forwards and are going to open fire on the plague zombies using the high explosive profile on their grenade launchers. 3 attacks hitting on 4s, all 3 hit. Now these are blast 3, so that is 9 hits on the plague walkers. No AP, so 9 saves of 4 needed for the plague walkers. And ooh, so that is 8 fails. Let's see if any of these regen. So regenning on 5s and 6s. And there's 1, 2, 3 survive, so 5 plague walkers get taken out. If I thought they were going to be that successful with that round of shooting, I would fire them at the plague drone instead. Never mind. Moving on to the walker, because there's no plague units left to activate. That is simply going to fire its laser machine gun at the plague drone. 3 shots hitting on 4s, and that is 1 hit at AP 2, so the drone needs a 4 up to save, and it fails. So this will be a 5 up regen, which it fails, so that's 1 wound off the plague drone. It's down to 5 left. Both of these infantry squads are going to stay still for now, remaining in cover. They do have some bits of cover terrain that they could move out into. These craters are considered to be cover terrain, so they'd be -1 to hit if they were in them, but there's no point in just moving out there and letting themselves be sitting ducks at the moment, so we'll keep them at the back in reserve for now. So moving into turn 2, and the plague destroyers will be dropping in. The plague destroyers, when they come in out of ambush, they come in just like they were being deployed in the first place. So we roll a die. On a 1 to 2, it will be in this third of the table. 3 to 4 will be the centre of the table, and 5 to 6 will be over there with the big blob of zombies and the plague drone. So they're coming in the middle, which makes a lot of sense. They're going to support the general, the psyker, with his plague brothers. A unit that comes in out of ambush can deploy, as I say, in that central section that we rolled for. It has to be close to the objective, but it has to be more than 9 inches away from an enemy model. So they've actually teleported in, come in into this this section of the building here. In the previous turn, the plague finished activating first, so they get to activate first in this turn. So we roll a die, and this will go over onto this flank with the drone and the zombies. So it's the one nearest to the activation, it's the one nearest to the objective that goes first, so that'll be the drone. Now there are objectives not under the control of the Plague Brothers, and the only one that is under control of them at the moment is that one it's sat on, so it will move towards the next closest objective, which is that one in the centre. So it will move its 9 inches, it's got the fast keyword, and then it will fire at the nearest enemy unit. The drone has moved, and it's definitely closer to the ogres than it is to the tank. So it will now fire at the ogres. 6 shots hitting on 4s, but this does have poison, so 6s will do 2 extra wounds in addition. So there's only 1 hit, and that is a 6, so that'll be 3 saves. The ogres have got the large shield, so they get defense of 3 up rather than their regular 4 up. And there's, although there's AP 1 on the plague's weapon, so they're back to 4s. And that is 2 fails, so one of the ogres will take 2 wounds. They do have tough 3, so they've got 3 wounds each. Over to the defence force, and the tank is going to open fire on these newly arrived plague destroyers. Everything is going into there, so all 4 shots from the heavy autocannon and all 9 shots from the heavy machine guns. Starting with the autocannon, heavy autocannon, 4 shots in on 4s, and that's 2 hits, so they are AP -3, so saves of 5 up, and they save them both. And then we've got 9 shots from heavy machine guns, hit on 4s, and that is only 4 hits. Now these are AP -1, so this will be 3 up saves, and they survive an entire tank load of shots. So unit to activate for the Plague Brothers will be in the middle, and again it's the closest unit to the objective, so it will be the destroyers. Now these are a hybrid unit because they've got really good close combat weapons, so they will move forwards towards the objective. Plague destroyers have moved forwards towards the objective, and because there's no enemy units in the way between them and the objective, they will shoot at the nearest enemy unit, which is the tank. They will start off with the twin assault guns, assault rifles, of which there are 4, so that'll be 8 shots hitting on 3s, and they will fire the plague flamethrower. 8 shots hitting on 3s, and that is 6 hits. These are no AP, so 2 up saves. And fails 1, so it takes a wound. The tank takes 1 wound. And then we've got 6 shots from the plague flamethrower, and that is 4 hits with a poison, so that is all 6 hits effectively. And these are AP 1, so 3 up saves. And it takes 2 more wounds, so 3 more wounds come off the tank, dropping it down to 6 left, so it will have to take a test, a morale test, which it passes. 4 up. On the defence force's right flank, this walker has moved forwards. It's not quite on the objective, it's about 3.5 inches away, and now it's going to open fire on these plague brothers. 3 shots hitting on 4s, and that is 1 hit, and it's AP -2, so saving on 4s, and it saves. The activation, and again it's going to be over on this flank, so it's going to be the zombies, and they will move forwards closer to the ogres. The ogres were not quite in charge range, but now the ogres are going to open fire on them with high explosive rounds again from the grenade launchers, try and thin them out a bit more before they get charged. So this is 3 shots hitting on 4s, and that is only 1 hit this time, but it is blast 3, so that'll be 3 saves needed on the plague zombies. 4 up saves, and 2 fail. Do they regenerate on 5 up? 1 does, so 1 more zombie falls. Back over to the Plague Brothers. There's this unit of Plague Brothers and the command unit of Plague Brothers still to activate, and it will be the command unit. The squad moved forwards, and now the Psyker is going to activate a psychic ability. D3 plus 1, so that'll be a 3 again, which is muscular atrophy. Target enemy unit within 18 inches gets -3 next time it moves, -3 inches. I don't think it's going to move though, because the tank is the nearest enemy unit, and I think he wants to stay sat there on that objective, so it's not a big deal. Right, we're now going to fire at it. We've got a plasma gun, a plague launcher, an assault rifle, and also the pistol of the Psyker is also in range. Kick things off with the Psyker and his pistol. It's just a regular pistol, and that hits, so 2 up save, which is successful. Moving on to the plasma rifle, that misses, and then 2 shots from the plague launcher. 1 hits, and this is AP minus 1. And it's not it does have poison, but it wasn't a 6. And the save is made there. And then 1 assault rifle shot hits, no AP, and is saved. The Light Walker is advanced and will shoot at the plague drone. Now, because of the number of models in the way, again we're going to say the plague drone is in cover. So 3 shots hitting on 5s. And 1 success. This is AP2, so the plague drone needs 4s to save, and it saves it. The last Plague Brothers unit to activate is this unit of Plague Brothers over here. They will advance towards this objective and then fire on the Light Walker. Plague Brothers are now within 3 inches of that objective. We'll fire at the Walker. We'll start with the plasma gun. Hits on a 3, and that hits, and that is AP, I want to say 2, but it saves anyway. 6 is always a save. And then we've got 4 assault rifles on 3s, 3 hit, no AP, saving on 2s, and the Walker saves all of them. I really didn't think about positioning properly when I moved these guys around. The infantry squad with the Executioner has moved up in support of the Ogres and the Walker, and are going to fire at the zombies. However, because again of the sheer bulk of bodies in the way, they can see less than half the target, so they'll be getting -1. The Sergeant is going to use his ability, his command, to give them +1 to hit, so they'll be hitting on 5s. Starting with 4 assault rifles, and that is 2 hits, 2 4-up saves, that's 2 fails. Do they regen? 1 regens, so 1 more zombie falls. Then we've got the grenade launcher using a blast, which misses. The Sergeant with his pistol misses, and the Executioner with his plasma pistol hits, so this will be a 6-up save because it's AP2, and that's a fail. Does it regen? Yes, it does. So after all that, just 1 more zombie falls. The commander and his infantry squad have moved out of the cover of the building and will open fire on the destroyers, starting with the commander with his pistol, plasma pistol, which hits. By the way, the Sergeant again is giving these guys +1 to hit, so that's a wound, and it's -2 AP, so that'll be a 4-up save on one of the destroyers, which it fails. Does it regen? No, it doesn't, so 1 destroyer takes a wound. The grenade launcher is going to fire an anti-tank round at him, which hits, which again is AP 1, so 3 up save, which passes. Sergeant with his pistol hits, no AP, so 2 up save, which passes, and then 4 auto rifles, assault rifles rather, 2 hit, 2 up saves, and it makes them. So 1 destroyer takes 1 wound. And then over on this flank, we have got this squad has moved it out of cover as well. The pistol on the sergeant is out of range, but the rifles and the grenade launcher are in range of these Plague Brothers. So the sergeant again is going to give +1 to hit. So we'll start with the assault rifles, hit on 4s, and that is 2 hits, no AP, and they both pass. Grenade launcher, anti-tank round, hit on 4, misses, and that is all units activated. So that is the end of turn 2. At the end of turn 2, the Plague Brothers are advancing quite heavily across the battlefield. So they've taken objective 3, and I think they're still within 3 inches of it. But really making the defence forces struggle to push them back. In the centre, the tank is quite heavily damaged, and we've got destroyers are closing in on that objective. The tank is currently still holding it. The plague drone over there as well, with the command unit also advancing. We've got some infantry support here, but I don't think it's going to be enough, especially against those destroyers. And over here we've got the Walker and an infantry squad trying to hold back this unit of Battle Brothers, Havoc Disciples, Plague Brothers. That's what they are, Plague Brothers, who are currently holding objective 2. So if the game were to end now, it would be a Plague Brothers victory, but we don't count victory points until the end of the game. We're going to move into turn 3, and again the Plague finished activating first, so they will activate first in turn 3. See which sector we activate a Plague unit in, and it will be over here, so it will be the zombies, and they will charge into the ogres. This will be 24 attacks. They've got 2 attacks each. There's 12 of them left. 24 attacks hitting on 5s. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 get through, fortunately. With those shields, the ogres have got 3 up saves. And 1 fails, so the ogres take 1 more wound, and then they can hit back. That 1 wound was enough to finish off one of the ogres. The remaining 2 will hit back. They've got 2 attacks each with their shield bash, hitting on 4s. And that is 2 successes, 2 saves, 4 on the zombies, and they fail. Do they regenerate? 1 of them regenerates, or 1 dies. 1 wound apiece inflicted in combat, so there's no morale to take because it was a tie. For the defence forces, the tank is going to shoot everything at that command squad of Plague Brothers. Autocannon, 4 shots in on 4s, and that's 2 hits and AP -3, so 5s to save, and 1 failed, so 5 will ignore for regeneration. No, 1 more Plague Brother dies, and then we've got 9 shots from the heavy machine guns in on 4s, and that is 4 got through, so 4, 3 up saves because these are -1, and there's 2 fails, regeneration, 1 more dies. 1 more dies, that will be enough to trigger a morale test on those Plague Brothers, which they fail, so they are now pinned. So I'll put a yellow die next to them to denote the fact that they're now pinned, and there's 2 of them left in the squad. So activate for the Plague Brothers will be in sector 1, so it will be this squad here, and essentially what they will do is they'll back up just far enough away to be within 3 inches of that objective, and then open fire on the walker. Start the shooting with the plasma gun, hits on a 3, and that hits, and it's AP -2, so 4 up save, which passes, and then 4 assault rifles on 3s, that's 2 hits, no armour piercing, so 2 up saves, and the walker takes 1 wound, it's down to 5. Something I neglected to do was to move the charging unit back an inch after the end of the fight. So I've just done that now. The ogres have fallen back and will now shoot high explosive rounds in at the zombies. 2 shots in on 4s, and both miss. The light walker is going to shoot at the plague destroyers, who are quite nicely in the open, so all 3 shots will be hit on 4s. And that is 2 hits at AP -2, saving on 4s. Ooh, 2 fail. Do they regenerate? 1 regenerates, 1 doesn't. So that'll strip the final wound off that destroyer and kill the destroyer. The plague drone has headed back over towards objective 3 and then fired at the walker and took a wound off it. This squad is now going to fire on the zombies. The sergeant is going to use his command ability to give +1 to hit, so 4 assault rifles hitting on 4s, that's 2 wounds, and both save. The grenade launcher is going to use a high explosive shell, which hits, which is 3, so 3 4 saves, and all 3 of those pass. The sergeant with his pistol hits, 4 up save on the zombie, fails it, regens on a 5 up, which regenerates, and the plasma pistol from the executioner misses. So after all that, those zombies are still unscathed. And now this command unit, the only thing they can do is unpin themselves. This unit here is going to open fire on the destroyers, and we'll start with the commander with his plasma pistol, hitting on a 4, that's a hit. -2, so 4 up save, which fails. Does it regenerate? No, it doesn't, so that's a wound on a destroyer. The grenade launcher, anti-tank round, hit on a 4, misses. Sergeant's pistol, misses. And then 4 assault rifles. 2 hits, 2 up saves, 1 fails. Regen? Nope. So that's another wound on a destroyer, so one's got 1 wound left. Over to this squad, similar concept, the entire squad, except for the sergeant with his pistol, because it's only 12-inch range, is going to shoot at these plague brothers, and he's giving them +1 to hit. So we'll start with the assault rifles, and that is 3 hits, 2 up saves. Ooh. 1 fails. Does it regenerate? No, it doesn't. So that's 1 dead plague brother. Grenade launcher, anti-tank round, hits, -1, so 3 up save, passes. So 1 plague brother falls from this squad, and we'll take that one. Last unit to activate is this light walker, which is going to shoot at the plague drone. 3 shots hitting on 4s. 1 AP -2, so this will be a 4 up save. That's a fail. Does there a regen? Yes, it does. Honestly, these things are disgusting and resilient. So at the end of turn 3, the Plague Brothers still control objective 3, and there's a big wall of zombies still in the way of the defence forces. It's looking increasingly unlikely that the defence forces will be able to take that objective. In the centre, there's a very badly wounded tank smoking and steaming next to this objective, which is now contested by the destroyers. And on this flank, the Plague Brothers are still just in possession of objective 2. At the moment, things going very heavily in the favour of the Plague Brother forces, moving into the final round. First plague unit to activate will be in the centre, and it will be the destroyers, seeing as they are actually on the objective, and they will fire everything. They'll move back slightly away from... I'm not entirely sure how this works. I think they have to move far enough away from the objective to still be on the objective, and then shoot at the tank. That's the way we're going to do it anyway. Start the shooting with the Plague Flamethrower. 6 shots. And that is 6, so effectively all 6 hit. AP minus 1, 2 wounds to get through, 3 up saves, and the tank is destroyed. So now the Plague's solely in occupation of that objective, and to be fair, I don't think this squad is going to be very successful in pushing them off it. Moving on to the Defence Forces activation. On the right flank, the Light Walker has moved closer to Objective 2, so it's now contesting it, and it's going to open fire on the Plague Brothers. So 3 shots hit with 4s, all 3 hit. AP minus 2, 4 saves, and all 3 save. Nothing wrong with the shooting, it's just really tough armour. Next Plague Brothers activation is going to be in Sector 1, so it will be this unit here. They will simply return fire. They can't move further away. According to the rules, they should move further back, but that doesn't make sense for them to move back off that objective, and it says to do whatever makes sense. So these Plague Brothers are going to stand their ground and return fire on the Walker. So we'll start with 3 assault rifles, hitting on 3s, and that's 2 hits, and saving on 2s, and that's another wound off the Walker. So it's down to 4 at the moment, and then a plasma rifle hits, 4 up save, and that's a fail, so another wound stripped off the Walker, putting it down to 3 wounds left. Back over on this flank, the infantry squad is going to open fire on the zombies. So again, the sergeant using his +1 to hit, although we might actually do a sneaky shuffle around with infantry, but there's no point in moving them because they can't get close enough to the objective to get within 3 inches of it. So I think they will just stay put and then fire at the zombies. So 4 assault rifles, 1 hit, 4 up save on the zombies, passes. Grenade hits, 3 4 up saves on the zombies, and 2 fail. Regenerate, 1 of them regenerates, so 1 more falls. Pistol from the sergeant hits, 4 up save, fails. Regenerate, no it doesn't, so another 1 falls, and then the plasma pistol from the executioner hits, 6 up save this time, which fails. Regenerate, no it doesn't, so 3 more zombies fall, and even though they're undead, that now means they have to suffer a morale effect. So they don't take a morale test, but you roll a d6 for each model left in the unit, which is 9, and any rolls of 1 will inflict a wound. And that is 2 more die, putting it down to 7 left. I'll be honest, I was hoping for more because 2 ogres aren't going to be able to finish off that lot and take care of a drone with the Walker. Yeah, that's not going to happen, so I think this flank is a lost cause as well, and I'm not convinced that this infantry squad will be able to finish off those Plague Brothers. But we'll carry on fighting it out. Plague activation, which will be on this flank, except they've activated, so you then go clockwise, which will be over to this flank. The unit closest to the objective is the drone. That will effectively stay there again and shoot at the closest target, which is still the Walker. Hit on 4s. No 6s, which is good. 3 regular hits. AP minus 1, so 3 up saves. And we failed 2 of them, which puts it down to 3 wounds left, which is a morale check. And there should be a morale check on that other Walker as well. So the one that just got wounded passes the morale check, and over here, that one passes too. Staying on this flank, the ogres are going to fire explosive rounds at the zombies, trying to whittle down their numbers before there's a charge coming. So 2 shots hitting on 4s, 1 hit, but that's blast 3, so 3 saves on the zombies, and all 3 save. And the next plague activation will be over here again, so this will be the zombies. They will charge the closest unit, which is actually this infantry squad. There's 7 of them left, so that's 14 attacks, hitting on 5s. That's quite a few, worryingly. So 6, and they've got 5 up save. So that's not good at all. So that takes out most of the regular troops and takes the sergeant down to 2 wounds left. These guys will now move in and fight back. This is the first time this unit is fighting back in this round, so they will still be hitting on 5s instead of 6s. The sergeant's got 2 attacks with his power sword, 1 hits, and that will be a save, which fails because it's AP1 with rend, so it won't even get a chance to regenerate. And then the executioner has got 2 attacks with a power fist, energy fist, 1 hits, which also doesn't save, but no rend this time, so this one can be regenerated, which it doesn't, so 2 more zombies die. However, that will be a morale check on this unit. They're both quality 5, so that's a fail. And the executioner is going to shoot the sergeant in the head to stop him from running away. Charging unit didn't destroy the unit that it charged, so it's fallen back to be more than an inch away. And then moving on to the defence forces turn. The squad with commander is going to split fire, pistols were going to the destroyers, and everything else will go into the Plague Brothers command squad. So plasma pistol from the commander, misses, pistol from the sergeant, hits, oops, no AP, that fails. Does it regenerate? Yes it does. Right, and then we've got 4 assault rifles going in on Plague Psyker and the Plague Brother. And they all miss. I should say the sergeant has given them +1 to hit, not that it's made any difference whatsoever. And then we'll do a high explosive round, which is on a 4, which hits, so this will be 3 2-up saves, and all of them pass. And the commander on a 4-up can then get another unit to activate as well, which passes. So we'll move on to this unit here, who will unload everything onto those Plague Brothers in the hope of taking them down. So 4 assault rifles, hitting on 4s because of the sergeant, and that's only 1 hit. Saves, yep, and then anti-tank grenade shot, hits, 3-up save, passes. The only Plague Brothers unit left to activate is the Plague Psyker and the remaining Plague Brother in that squad. Now they're supposed to advance towards the nearest unheld objective, which is that one over there, simply because it's contested. So they will advance over there and then shoot at this squad here. Plague Psyker Psychic Power is a 2, D3 +1, so it's a 2, which is Rot Wave. Target enemy unit within 12 inches takes 8 automatic hits if it goes off, but there isn't a unit within 12 inches, so you then move down. Target enemy unit within 18 inches gets -3 inches to then move if this goes off, which it doesn't. Plague Launcher shooting at this squad. They are in cover, so this will hit 4s, and both miss. The only unit left to activate over here is this Walker. It can shoot at the Plague Drone, but there's not really a lot of point other than for glory. Only 1 hits, which is saved anyway. So, at the end of battle round 4, nobody controls this objective because there are enemy units on both sides within 3 inches of it. The Plague Destroyers are holding the centre objective, and the Plague Drone is holding that objective, objective 3. So that is a victory for the Plague Brothers and a defeat for the planetary defences. This battle will continue, possibly with the planetary defences calling in reinforcements. Until next time.